Hey, hi friends. So here I am today with my new video. So I'm here at Frontiers of Flight Museum, which was near Love Field Airport, Dallas. This museum consists of good collection of flight models. So let's get in and check them out. Yeah, and you can see the chopper over there. So it was the main entrance of the whole museum, and there was a real chopper which was hanged over there. So let's get into the museum, which consists of different kinds of flights since from the period of Wright Brothers to the current period of fighter jets. So here we are inside, and we have an entry fee of around $10, and we have guides over at the entrance, so who guides you to the museum by giving you a map. So in this map you can see like what kind of flights and where are they located, and what are the major attractions of the whole museum with their images. We are here near the steps. You can see there are good collection of flights over here. So this was the oldest flight, and let's get through a small introduction about the museum in the words of a guide.
Over 400 pilots got their wings flying that aircraft here at Love Field. After that aircraft, they transitioned to the steam wings, which you see up here, the PT-2. And then after that, they went to this monowing design, the aluminum trainer over here, which is actually one of the first aluminum trainers and monowing trainers that was used by the military. These are all actual aircraft.
Can't fly.
The only thing that's not actual is this one hanging right over your head, but it is an exact replica of the Wright Flyer. That aircraft above my head actually did fly. It flew in a television commercial.
I like the Fina plane.
What's that?
The Fina gas station.
Yeah, those are the old Pitts aerobatics aircraft. There's a whole series of them. The Tiger Moth here to your right, that's kind of a trainer pre-World War II. A lot of our Allied fighter pilots went to England prior to going to war in World War II, and they actually trained in this aircraft, this type of aircraft.
Look on the hook count. Is that a D and an H in the middle?
Yeah, with the Havilland.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll show look at the logo.
The Blue Angel jet over there that you'll see, that is F-18C model. The gentleman's name is on the side, Lieutenant Commander Pat Walsh. He's now a retired two-star admiral, and he lives here in Dallas. That's his aircraft that he flew while he was with the Blue Angels. So
Do they let them keep it after they're done or something like that? Or?
well, they put them on display. This one's actually on loan.
This Blue Angel jet is the center of attraction of the whole museum, and let's hear about its history.
So this is a naval F-18C model. This particular aircraft was flown by Lieutenant Commander Pat Walsh, whose name is underneath the cockpit up there. He's now a retired two-star admiral and lives here in Dallas. And this was actually his aircraft before he became retired, and this is the aircraft that he actually flew while he was in the Blue Angels. Some unique things about naval aircraft are the landing gear is very heavy duty, and that's just simply to put up with all the abuse that they take when they land on aircraft carriers. This particular aircraft would have been part of a 6-aircraft formation fleet for the Naval Blue Angels. It would have performed around the world, and it was retired I think in 1989 or 1994 or something like that. I don't know the exact year, but take my word for it, it's retired.
How many years does it work?
Actually, that's an interesting question. People think that Blue Angel aircraft are like the newest airplanes in the fleet. They're actually some of the oldest aircraft.
Okay.
By the time the Blue Angels get the aircraft, they've already been in the fleet for a number of years, and they've kind of used up their usefulness as far as combat aircraft, so they turn them into Naval Blue Angel jets for the display team. I can't answer your question exactly, but they're usually some of the oldest aircraft in the fleet.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The end into the hot exhaust. Yeah. As soon as it hits the hot exhaust, it turns into that smoke. So when you wander around the back over there, if you look up on top of the number 1 engine, which is the one on this side, you'll see a little valve, a little nozzle, and that's where the linseed oil comes out. So it literally goes to the tank here to back there, and it just turns to smoke when it hits the hot air. Amazing. You'll also see the tail hook back there. That's where, when they're landing on aircraft carriers, that's how they actually slow down. There are four traps or 4 lines across the back of an aircraft carrier. They always want to shoot for the 3rd one because that means you're kind of landing right in the middle between all 4. Naval aviators actually debrief after every single mission. So if you think of a professional athlete and they watch the game film, it's exactly what naval aviators do anytime they land on an aircraft carrier. The first thing they do after they get down, they go down to the ready room, they watch the film, they literally watch the film of the aircraft landing on the aircraft carrier, and they get graded. Right. So it's obviously competitive. amongst the aviators that are on board an aircraft carrier. You can see the trays underneath here, so this, like any good naval aircraft, takes a lot of abuse on the landing gear and causes hydraulic leaks. So this is a real naval airplane and it's still leaking hydraulic fluid. The little lights that you see here on the nose, the green, yellow, red, that's part of the approach landing system. So when an aircraft is landing on an aircraft carrier, there's an individual sitting at the end of the deck of the aircraft carrier and he's watching the airplane as it's approaching. It's called the landing systems officer. And one of the things he's watching is this light right here. So green, yellow, red indicates the position on the glide slope relative to the aircraft carrier. So if he's green, he's right on the glide slope, he's perfect. If he's red, you're dead. Red, you're going to run into the back, you're going to land and literally smash into the back of the aircraft carrier, so you don't want to be red. Yellow, you're all right, but you're too high. But yellow's okay, you're not going to die. So that's one of the speed optimization. It's just based on the angle of the aircraft. I got you. Actually, they have a very similar system at commercial airports over here. If you've ever seen on the side of the runway, there's boxes, orange boxes that have lights in them. Commercial pilots use them the same way. Depending on how high or how low you are, that light color will change. So a commercial pilot doing a visual approach does the same thing. He uses those as a reference point. If he's green, or actually it's not, it's white, and I won't explain it, but they use it the same way. Right.
And these are the real and old fighter jets for which their height and angle are adjusted by the hydraulics at the wings. This looks to be interesting, adjusting using hydraulics, and you can see those hydraulics over here. So they move it up and down to adjust their height and angle. And now we are at the most important and interesting Apollo 7. This is the real Apollo 7 that was used in 1968. This was like a really very important mission for the NASA team during that time, because it resumed the human space flight after the fire that killed 3 people in Apollo 1 during the launch rehearsal test in 1967. So usually it carries 3 people in it.
This is the real deal. This is the one that went up on top of the rack.
How did they do that? How did they do this like How much years?
Huh?
How much years?
Right here.
1968.
So that was, how many years ago was that?
I think it was in the
68, 08, would have been 40, 18, would have been.
You can have a view of flights getting landed and taking off in the Love Field Airport. This was really a beautiful scene. And now let's get into the other part of the museum that contains the demo of commercial aircrafts and flight simulators. And this is the real Boeing 737 that served for Southwest Airlines. Let's get into it and see what's catchy here. This is the exact replica. And you can see that they have removed the seats and arranged a small gallery with some kind of photos. Let's get into the cockpit. And currently the cockpit is closed, but if you are here on Sundays, you can see that they are open and you can take pictures inside the cockpit. Today is a Saturday, I'm here on Saturday, so and you can see the kids are really enjoying the whole museum. And one of the guides suggested me to walk around the museum, that indicating that they have some more collection of flights, and yeah, here they are. It looks like we are on the runway in the airport with the sounds coming from the real airport and the feel of flights getting landed and take off from the